G'day everyone, it's SDS SuperCoach providing SuperCoach content for you. As I'm here to present the return of Jump On and Jump Off for 2024. We're back. We're back. I know. Everyone's wanted this back. We've got it back. Joining me is Brad from SuperCoach Pro. How you going, my man?
Yeah, good. Thanks, mate. How are you today?
Yeah, doing pretty well. Got my day off. And I saw last night that you did a live stream. How do you reckon that felt?
Yeah, a little bit nerve wracking at the start because I had no viewers for the first couple of minutes, and I had, a few jump on, but they actually like for the numbers I had, everyone actually kept asking questions for an hour and a half solid, so it was actually pretty decent.
That's
Um, I I didn't leave it on my YouTube account because there was some topics that got a little bit sideways, so
good.
I delete it just in case I got in trouble. So if you're on the stream, yeah, that's all you got. But I'm going to do Sunday night streams from now on, and I'll make sure there's nothing controversial in there. I just didn't want to get canned or get some beef against me. So I might, yeah,
No, that's all right, mate. No stress at all. So we know you've got work pretty shortly, so we'll just get straight into this. Jump on, jump off. This is if anyone's new to this, this is a series where we talk about the 10 most traded in and most traded out players, and we discuss whether it is viable to do it or not. All right, so we're on the traded out tab here, and the most traded out player is Colby McKercher. 21% are trading him out. I believe this is the correct move, unless he isn't named. If he isn't named, then maybe you could probably hold him for another week. And if you've got other more pressing issues, then you can hold off him. But I think if he is playing, he is a trade out. What do you reckon, Brad?
yeah. I think he's traded out. Not just because of his break even, but because the role change. He's in the midfield now, so I don't think he averages what he was averaging back in the back line. Yeah, but if he doesn't get named, I might actually hold trades this week completely. So yeah, I think he's a trade if he plays and a hold if he doesn't, because then you can look at downgrades that are on the bubble next week instead of going early.
Absolutely, yeah. Because I think he's a player that could regenerate his cash gen, but it's just too
Yep.
risky, and that will take a while as well, because you'll
Yeah.
have to wait for him to go fully back down, then to go all the way up. So if you're going to do that, that's certainly a long-term play. With
Yep.
that one, second most traded out play is Jai Clark. Now, I do think Jai Clark, there's a decent chance he could get dropped and have a little stint in the twos. Probably hasn't turned out to be a successful pick, but the role was there for him, but just doesn't look fully ready at AFL level just yet. I'm sure he'll be a very good player, but looks a year or two off from really exploding in the competition. Would you? I believe this is the right move though to trade him out because 74 break even hasn't hit that score all year. I think the highest he got was a 68, so I do think if named, he is a trade out. Do you reckon, Brad?
Yeah, you could trade him out. It'd be funny if you could pick him up in 3 weeks' time when he's like 123K again.
Go back there again. I mean, certainly possible. Certainly possible. Yeah, I think if named, he is a trade out. Now, number three, Blake Howes. Now, I think in some people's situations where they might they might have a couple of dead rookies on the bench, along with Howes having the bye this week, or even a Tom Brown, that sort of thing. So there's probably people in there trading him out just because he's got the bye and they want to field 22 players in best 18. So but with a 21 break even, I believe if you can, he is a hold, and I do think he can make more money from here. Would you trade him out now, Brad?
Well, if you held him for that 62, then you're obviously just going to hold him to make another 50 to 100K from here on out. So I feel like it's a little bit pointless trading him now. You should have done it the week before if you wanted to go early on someone. So for me, I'd rather get rid of dead rookies before best 22 comes out. So I'd actually hold him if you've already held him already. So yeah.
And by the way, in my opinion, I believe this is probably the last week to start moving off some of these dead rookies because we now, heading into next week, I think will now be upgrade season where we just want to prioritize getting rid of the cash generators. So probably a final week to be moving off some of these dead rookies if possible. Number four, Riley Sanders. Now, this is probably the first, this is the second player for me where I probably wouldn't trade him out ideally. Like we saw the amount of media coverage it got trading out, sorry, not trading out, subbing off Riley Sanders. And I would be very surprised, especially with Tom Liberatore out, whether that he'd be involved in any sub plans. And I do think he could even spike a good game this week in response to that. So I would hold Sanders. I think there's more bigger issues than Sanders. So I'd personally hold. What do you reckon, Brad?
Probably a trade on this. I don't want Bevo to sub him out anytime soon. Like, can he actually play 4 games in a row to get to 400k and not get subbed out any of those? If he gets subbed out one of the next 4 games, his cash gen's just going to stall anyway. So for me, I'm probably a trade out. I mean, if you're holding him, it's because you got dead rookies on the bench, and it's all team dependent. Depends. Like if you've got Harley Reid and Matt Roberts and stuff, you can put in there anyway at M7, M8. I'm probably an advocate to get rid of him. But if you're actually relying on for points on field, then you're holding him.
Yep, that's fair enough.
Yeah,
It's all just depending whether Bevo can Bevo.
yeah,
Because if he plays a full game, every time he's played a full game, he's scored 70 plus. So
that's right.
really, yeah, if you're keeping him, you're just banking on Bevo not being a total loser. Now, number six, no, sorry, number five, we've got Caleb Windsor, who's on the buy right now. He's made 71k, so he's been all right. He's been okay as a rookie, but I do think his break even's a bit higher, and I do believe his time has come to trade him out, as I don't think also he is a reliable on-field scorer as well. So I would trade him out. Would you agree, Brad?
Yeah. If he's watching this video, I actually do know him, not very well, but I know his family and stuff. So I'd trade Windsor out. Sorry, mate. If you are watching, but yeah, trade him out. I think it's just his wing role isn't super coach relevant, but he's a good player.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Sorry, Caleb, if you are watching, mate. I don't think you will, but yeah, sorry about that. But yes, probably for coaches, his time's probably come. James Jordan, now, if you've still held on to him, I forgot what his break even was.
70 something?
77. So you're sort of banking on him holding price at this point now. So I think he is a trade out. Made his money. It's been an okay mid-pricer. Had some solid on-field scores, but yeah, I'd move him on. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think you trade him out because his average is about his break even. And Adams is back in the side, so he's going to probably play more wing role, SCBAs. So for me, it's a trade.
Yep, absolutely. Number seven, we got Toby Pink, 2.4% out. As I said a little bit earlier, I believe this is the final week to start moving off some of these dead rookies, and I believe he is a dead rookie because with Comben in, Biggie in, you've got Callan Dawson, who's currently on the injury list for 2 to 3 weeks. I think Pink's quite behind the pack when it comes to key backs, so I believe this is a trade if possible.
Yeah, you're trading him to like Closey or a Graham for me, but I did advocate never to bring him in. So anyway, he's definitely a trade.
Yep, absolutely. Just turn my phone off. All right. Number eight, Alex Sexton, another potential dead rookie. I think he played pretty well against the Hawks in the VFL, but I think I just don't see him coming back into the side now. At least he got a price rise, unlike Charlie Constable. But as I said, I think this is the final week to be moving off some of these dead rookies, and I think he is a trade out.
Yeah, he's a trade out for me as well. With the 2 rookies that came in plus Reed, like his job security, Sexton. Even if he did get it named at some point, it's just going to be on the curb pretty quickly if he has bad form. So I don't think he actually plays a game for the rest of the season. To be honest, we got catfished by Dimmer. So yeah, move Sexton.
I mean, Dimmer has been very nice to us with some of these picks here, but Sexton, fair to say, probably didn't live up to the expectation when it came to his scoring. I thought he'd be a lot better than what he was, but oh well, is what it is. Move him off if possible. Got a bit out of jail with the Sexton pick because I took him out the week before he got dropped, which was during his bye. Jack Carroll, now I believe his break even something like 46. So ideally, this is very team sheets dependent, I think, on this one. We just have to see if we hear anything about him being sub. If he's sub, definitely trade out if possible. If he is playing, I think it's fine to hold for another week because he's been delivering some 60s and 70s every week. So if he plays a full game, I think that's perfectly fine. Although I think he's losing his CBA role to Walsh now. So that's not as good. If he gets dropped, you could probably hold if you've got more pressing issues and worry about that next week. But yeah, this is a very team sheet dependent. I think ideally you trade out, but just wait to hear some news. So I'm not going to fully say trade him out, but probably leans more towards that than keep him. Do you agree?
Yeah, I'm probably going to trade him out if I had him. I went sharp over him, but I think his job security is okay because of that was a stinger here. That was his job security is okay because McCubbin and the Sard are out. So you'd think that with Walsh back, his CBA is dropped, but he's probably okay. He's still on the fringe for a sub because he is a good sub. But yeah, I'd probably trade him out if I had him, is what I meant to say pretty much.
Yeah, like with my current trade plans, I'm keeping, but I'm just praying that he's not named sub because that's when he'll start dropping cash and wouldn't be ideal. So then we got Matt Crouch here for the Crows. In my opinion, he's not a keeper, but it is a 1 week suspension. So this is a tricky one. Um, you could trade him off if you want, because I think you'd side swap him to a bloke who's actually a keeper. But I don't know. In most scenarios in Supercoach, if you're out for 1 week, it's a hold. So, look, if you've got other pressing issues, then I think you hold. But if you haven't got much to do, I think there's nothing wrong with trading him out, Brad.
Yeah, you hold him because when he gets back, I think he's got North Melbourne and another juicy matchup, the showdown, the Port Adelaide showdown. So you're holding him in just by fixture, and he hasn't been that bad. Like he salvaged a score in the last quarter, so he's been fine. I'd hold him and upgrade around him.
And also, it's best 18 as well. So, like, I feel like you can easily replace him from a bloke who's just randomly going to score pretty well as well. Now, oh yeah, one more player before I know he's not on the list here, but as I preached over the preseason, saying Dersma was a dud pick, and he is definitely a trade out if you still have him. I think he made like 12 grand in the end, so yeah. So if you've got him, move him off. Sorry, I had to send one final jab at people that were saying he'd be a good pick. All right. Now the most traded in player. Now, I think the first two we don't need to talk too much about, but we will. Will Graham, 117K, defender mid, which comes in handy. And he is definitely, most definitely a trade him. Please prioritize bringing him and the next bloke coming up. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree on both to keep it short, and I think Will Graham's actually not a bad potential sort of keeper to be your sort of what is it, M9D7 swing as well. And this is controversial. I think I've said it a few times, but I think Closely has the ability to be a keeper as D6 if he keeps firing out tons. I think he might be a sneaky chance. So come back to this in 18 weeks' time and yeah, find out what happens. But I reckon he's a big chance. Like Barlow and players like that you've kept, like Gordon you kept, like there's rookies where you can jump on and they've gone all the way. We saw what Shees did last year. I held him throughout the whole season, so it's not out of the realms of possibility. He's 21 years old, so yeah, you're definitely bringing him both this week. And I wouldn't skip Will Graham. I've seen a lot of live streams, people saying, "Do I skip Will Graham?" No way. Go check out my video about the Will Graham profile. So that's why I jumped on. It was the own study video. So yeah, bring them both in.
And another thing as well, I think I said it in my round review, but we will see how many people are playing the game on people who are bringing in Sam Closely. I think that's a good indicator. So he's currently 12%, 12% of bringing him in. He's already in 44% of sides. So that roughly, to me, in my opinion, plus there might be a few percent that just might not really know what they're doing. So my guess would be 60% of all super coaches are still playing the game. So that would be my estimate there. And Will Graham you definitely bring in, so we'll just move on. So they're your two priorities if you haven't got them. Number three, now this is a pretty, like, you're either not as big of a fan of this pick or not. It's Charlie Comben. And Big Chom is really impressing me with some of those intercept marks. I think he's now, for me, I mean, I know Griffin Logue's out, but he's, and you got Core, but other than that, he is probably the most reliable North Melbourne defender currently. My main concern with Comben is that I think Biggie, who we'll talk about in a sec, Biggie was doing a little bit of what Comben was doing a couple of weeks ago with taking some intercept marks there. But also Comben doesn't take kick-ins as well with the elevated price. I think he took one kick-in last week though. I think this is a one where it's team dependent. I can't get to him with the trades that I really like, so I am passing. But I think with Comben, if you can afford to get him in, I think with some dead rookie cases, he might be one of those. He might be one of those that we sort of I guess you have to upgrade to. But yeah, I think this is purely team dependent if you can get to him. Definitely prioritize the top two, but Comden, I'm passing, but I can see this being a good pick, Brad. Brad. Oh no. Is my Wi-Fi bad? I think Brad, hello? Oh no, I was excited for this um discussion. Oh, Brad, oh no. Okay, well, I think you've got just me for the rest of the video. I don't know whether it was my Wi-Fi or his, but okay. So I think he's now out of the stream. So I'm sorry for everyone that wanted to hear Brad's opinions on the rest of these, but I think now I'll just gonna have to do this myself, unfortunately. Comben, as I said, he was very matchup dependent. Sorry, not matchup dependent. It's very team dependent with this one. I wouldn't rush. I wouldn't sell the farm to make sure you get him in. This all dependent on what it's like this game, on what he scores. He's come up against the Hawks, so Hawthorn midfielders have really struggled and been doing some very lackadaisical kicks. I'm not sure if Mitch Lewis will be named, but I think there could be some easy marks for Comben. I wouldn't rush to get him in, but I wouldn't. But if you can, I think it's fine. He's on the bubble this week as well. What's his break even, by the way? -75. Crap. It's a lot of money to get up from 227K as well. Sam Walsh. Now Adelaide's midfield has been struggling, so I think his score obviously was fantastic, but I think he's one you certainly wait on because Giants are a much tougher midfield matchup, so we can get a good gauge onto what Sam Walsh is like. So I think he's one you don't have to jump on just yet, but maybe reassess what he does this week, because yeah. Biggie Nong. Now Cullen Dawson's out for 2 to 3 weeks, unfortunately for North, but Biggie's now jumped onto that opportunity. I'm not going to go early. I think it's fine if you want to go early because Dawson is out for 2 to 3 weeks, so he's bought himself job security this week and next week and potentially even the week after. So we'll see what he's like at the bubble and see how he goes because remember, the second game is more important for his cash gen than it is his first game. So, and same with that can relate to Charlie Comben as well because Comben is playing his second game. Played his second game, and I think with Comben, his 129 score will drop out. And yeah, so his 129 score will drop out, score to 75, depending on how he goes this week. And yeah, just see how that goes. Biggie, I'm fine with if you want to jump on, jump off, jump on, wait, that sort of thing. So hopefully that answers people. Heaney, I just think he's too expensive now. I would rather be going for value from here. I know it hurts not having him, but Taylor Adams did have Taylor Adams coming into the side against West Coast meant that Heaney had a little drop in CBAs. So probably just one you wait till he drops back down in price. I think same could be said for Jack Steele. I don't have Jack Steele, which is bloody killing me. But he seems to be back to his best. Really sort of last week to get him in because he's now starting to get that elevated price now. So I'm probably wouldn't jump on. I'd probably wait for blokes like Petrarca to come down in price, Tom Green if you don't have him, Bont if you don't have him, and pick them up who I think can score very similarly to Jack Steele. But Jack Steele looks like a top 8 midfielder. Really top 5 even. Elliot Yo, I think this is a mild point chasing exercise, this one. He already had that 157 against Richmond. He's going up against Freo, much tougher midfield to score on. So I mean, it's fine. Like, if he's the only upgrade you can get to, I think it's okay. But just remember that he will eventually, he won't play 23 games this year. So just keep that in mind. Make sure your trade position is pretty good, because I think you've got to remember that he could go down any minute. We got to remember his injury history, that sort of thing. So Elliot Yo, yeah, you can jump on if you like, but I probably won't. I think there's a bloke 25k. Oh no, 25k, 20k that I prefer as an option. Hugo Garcia, I would probably hold off this one. See how he does tonight up against the Saints, and just sorry, up against the Dogs. See how he goes. So I think one thing you could do, even if you want to bring in like a combin, see how Garcia goes tonight. If he scores very well and not named sub, then you could probably hold off combin, knowing that we can bring in someone like Garcia next week and save that 110k. So I would probably wait and see on Hugo Garcia, because I know St Kilda are pretty strict on rookies. So yeah, Ross Lyon and the Saints are pretty strict on rookies. So I would probably wait, see how he goes tonight, and see if he becomes an option. And Sam Flanders, I think this is a fantastic target. Yes, he's no longer in the midfield rotation, but he is now playing off half back, getting some cheap touches there, and scoring just as fine. So I think he is a good trade-in target, and I think he'll be one of the best forwards this season. Yeah, top 2 or 3 forward, and 5 for 66k. That's still a very good price. All right. That is jump on, jump off. Sorry that we missed out on Brad's opinion there towards the end, but I'll see how this how the video sounds, because it might actually be my Wi-Fi, not his. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys are going well. See ya.